Hey everyone. So for this video, I searched for cases here in the state of Texas, but I couldn't really find anything. The website is kind of hard to navigate, and so I gave up and I started looking at other states, and I ended up finding the Virginia State Board website. It was pretty easy to navigate, and I was able to find plenty of different cases where counselors got their license suspended for many different reasons. Some of the things that I found were they were lying about continuing their education. They were lying about charging to Medicaid. I mean, a lot of crazy things. But the thing that I saw the most of was counselors engaging in sexual relationships with their clients or the client's family member. All the things that I saw were pretty ludicrous in my opinion. I just feel like you work so hard to obtain the status to be able to do this job, and yet you're gonna throw it all away, you know, just by making a mistake. So I just can't imagine working that hard and just throwing it all away, I guess. So the case that I chose was a case where the counselor started having a relationship with the client's mother. He also allowed this woman to buy him gifts such as a motorcycle. So the behavior that led to the discipline was engaging in sexual and an exploitative relationship with the client's mom. The ACA Code of Ethics that was violated was A.5A for having a sexual relationship with the client's mom. And I quote, "Sexual and or romantic counselor-client interactions or relationships with current clients, their romantic partners, or their family members are prohibited. This prohibition applies to both in-person and electronic interactions or relationships." The other one that was violated was A10F, receiving gifts because he allowed this mom to buy him a motorcycle. The Virginia state codes that were violated were 18 VAC 11580 through 90 B1 and D1. He also violated code 18 VAC 115-80-100 3, 4, 6, and 7. The outcome of this board discipline was indefinite suspension of his license. Section C.2.G of the ACA Code of Ethics says, and I quote, "Counselors monitor themselves for signs of impairment from their own physical, mental, or emotional problems and refrain from offering or providing professional services when impaired." This is the part where it wants to know what is said about counselors being impaired. And then also the Texas State Code says in Chapter 681, Subchapter C, a licensee must not provide services while impaired. I guess the question that was brought to my mind after reading this is, I know we're all humans and it's hard to kind of distinguish sometimes when we need help and when we don't, and especially I think in this line of work when you are helping so many people. But I think, you know, there's a fine line, and you can draw that fine line to finally realize, you know, I'm probably, if you're having any kind of impaired thoughts, I just feel like we know that. And so why would we want to continue practicing when we're not 100%? So that was the question that came to me, is why would counselors continue to provide services knowing they are impaired? I mean, I feel like it's probably one of those things that's easier said than done, but I know if I wasn't 100% myself, then I'd probably take some time off, go do my thing, and then come back, you know, when I was able to provide services at 100%.